Welcome to Raj Pardeep Singh to Indians Living in Auckland Facebook page. Raj, you've
Thank
been a
you.
part of the Indian Newsling journey from the time you came to New Zealand, and you're about 21 years in New Zealand. Indian Newsling is completing 25. Indians Living in Auckland is a comparatively new Facebook page, which has been doing well. So today, on behalf of Indians Living in Auckland, Rashna will ask you, engage with you on immigration, because immigration is an issue that confuses a lot of people, but it interests everyone.
Correct.
And with the recent changes that have taken place and what has developed over the last few years on the immigration space, many people are not clear as to where they stand. So we've received lots of questions. Based on that, we have chosen a few to be considered by you. And I will now request Rashna Tata, who's one of our administrators in the group, to talk to you. And Raj, welcome.
Thank you very much. And welcome, you guys as well. This is the first time I'm at your channel.
Yep.
So thank you for giving me this opportunity to talk face to face with your viewers online.
Absolutely. Just to let our viewers know, we have developed this Meet Your Expert series simply because we know that our community, who is a part of Indians Living in Auckland Facebook page, we have 50,000 members. They have a lot of issues, lot of concerns, lot of questions. And we bring, people like Raj, who are the experts in their field, to answer your questions. We invite you to send us your questions so we know exactly what you need to know. And we have somebody of Raj's caliber who is at top notch answering those questions. So Raj, thank you very much for doing us the big favor of coming in. I know how busy your schedule is, and you've made time for us. So we're extremely grateful to you.
Thank you, Rashnaji.
And I'm just going to, go a little further and introduce Raj more than what Venkatji did. You've just heard Mr. Venkatraman of the Indian News Link introduce Raj, who is, personally known to him for many years. Immigration law and immigration is a subject that concerns most families in New Zealand, especially migrants wanting to move to New Zealand or who want to, become citizens or residents in New Zealand. With 10 years of legal expertise in New Zealand, we have our expert in our Meet the Expert series going to talk about immigration today. We have with us Mr. Raj Pardeep Singh of Legal Associates, that is his company, was formed by Raj and his wife Ashima, who is also in the legal field, in September 2014.
2014. Yes.
Okay, yes. I read that on your site. Raj and Ashima both come from migrant backgrounds. They themselves have moved here and they identified a need for specialized legal services and legal education amongst migrant communities. Raj specifically specializes in immigration and criminal law, absolutely known for his client-centered approach. He has successfully represented a diverse range of clients, navigating complex legal landscapes with integrity, skill, and passionate about justice and advocacy. Raj is dedicated to providing clear and strategic advice to help his clients achieve their goals. So join us in an insightful live session where Raj will share valuable insights and answer your legal questions on immigration issues. A lot of our members have sent us questions. We've picked out the best amongst them and you have the expert answering them. Thank you, Raj.
Thank you, Rashnaji, for such a detailed, tremendous, introduction.
Okay.
But just to tell your viewers a correct thing, that I completed my law degree from Delhi University in 1999.
Wow.
So my experience goes more than 25
Absolutely.
years in this.
Absolutely.
And in New Zealand, I'm from 2009. So it's more than 15 years
Perfect.
in New Zealand as a lawyer. And then our own law firm, Legal Associates, is more than 10 years now.
Perfect.
With my
Perfect.
wife, Ashima, who is a
Perfect.
notary public. and
Absolutely.
practice in property sector.
You are very well known amongst
Yeah.
the community and I'm sure outside as well.
Yes.
Raj, if I can move to our first question.
Sure.
Is the current coalition government open to immigration? There have been recent statements which imply that New Zealand has too many immigrants and hence there will be restrictions. Would you like to share your thoughts on that, Raj?
Well, on this, current government stance, if I'll say, in terms of migration, what they have done since last 1 year, we have seen a change that immigration has become more and more stricter. The policy is changed. Even if you talk about last week's policy, I think yesterday, which is announced, terms by Erica Stanford that this migrant exploitation visa is 2 times for 6 months and 6 months. They have restricted to 6 months only. Only one you can get, and this is the month you can apply. And in terms of UC parents, skilled migration, accredited employee work visas, job check applications, so everything becomes stricter and stricter. The process has been very prolonged. Now the process time is 3 to 6 months, 6 to 9 months.
Wow.
So this is the time. So if I'll see about the approach, it's much more harder and stricter. And of course, the approach is wrong, I can tell you, because this country need migration. This country stand on migration. Why? Because New Zealand citizens, I'm not talking about any migrants, New Zealand citizens with passports, they move to other country, such as Australia. So we are already less like 70,000. So where you fill this gap from migrants, and of course, with the skills, and I'm talking skills, not low skill laborers, or orchard workers, or RSC workers, like working in orchard. You need skilled people. So you need that, whether healthcare, construction, hospitality, tourism, retail, everywhere you need people.
Everywhere.
So they can't do it, and they need to become better and better in terms of that, rather than stating to communities such as Indian, Chinese, or Filipinos that we are making it strict and you are not welcome. So this is not a good
Exactly.
approach.
Exactly. Sadly enough, when we came, it was far more welcoming, I think, when you and I came.
Correct.
And over this period of time, we're seeing, all this segregation happening. Don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, in the long run for the country.
Yeah.
Only time will tell. What are the recent changes affecting resident visa and visitor visa applications? Have these changes made it easier to obtain resident and visitors visa?
See, it's a different two sector will talk. Like one is residence visa. Of course, what they have done in last 1-2 years, and I'm not talking about government. We'll talk about immigration department, which is immigration New Zealand.
New Zealand.
Yes. So currently they are skilled migration with 6 points, which is a very detailed change in terms of last 20 years of immigration assessment point system. Before it was say 24 points, then 26 points, then 30 points skilled migration. Then it becomes 140 points, 160 points, 180 points, where in different terms of your age, your qualification, your work experience, your New Zealand skilled experience, your family member in New Zealand, your partner's qualification, your wage rate, all that around that. But now they have changed to skilled migration only 6 points based on 2 things. One category is your skilled employment in New Zealand, that points, or second category in this is based on your pay rate, or third is based on your skills in terms of your registration. 1 point you can have in these 3 sectors. And second is based on your New Zealand work experience.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So your qualification points are there in that. So that's what the criteria is in that. So they made it very simple. No age points, no partner points, no overseas qualification, no sponsors family point. So everything they have made it to New Zealand based only. It means in the new residence visa, if you got a qualification, whether overseas or New Zealand, till like PhD points, like 6 you got. So you still need a job offer in New Zealand.
Oh.
Your skill level 1, 2, 3. Then you can apply residence based on that 6 points. Otherwise, if you got like a master degree, 5 points, so 1 year New Zealand work experience. Level 8, 4 points, you got 2 years New Zealand experience. And bachelor degree, you need 3 years work experience. So without New Zealand experience or New Zealand skilled job, you cannot qualify for. So they have restricted all overseas qualification, not qualification, work experience.
So Raj, does it mean that Erica Stanford has gone back on her promise? Because when she was in opposition, she said that she would ease the regulations and try and bring in more immigrants because this is what the country needs. And she slammed Labour Party. So, are you saying that she has put in more restrictions and made it difficult, made immigration more difficult?
No, this is, as I said, in the beginning, this is about New Zealand immigration policies. This is done by previous government.
All right.
So this
No,
is
but
implementation.
has the current government made it easier?
The process is more stricter, not easier, in terms of verification. Say when we talk about qualifications, verification is there. If they put anything about their overseas qualification, work experience, or overseas
No,
documents.
what I'm saying is, sorry to interrupt. She said she would make immigration very fast and all applications will be fast tracked, and New Zealand employers are asking for immigrant labor. Labour government is not delivering, when we will do it when we come. That's what she said.
Venkatji, on this one again, not a correct statement, of course. Now we are talking about, employers means work visa process. It's very delayed. If you have seen, now accreditation takes 1 to 2 months. Before it was 1 to 2 days. And I'm not criticizing anything whether they did it without verification or not, but that's based on New Zealand. And then job check. Before it was 1 week or sometime 1 to 2 days. Now it has gone to 3 to 4 months.
So it's
An
become worse.
accredited employer work visa process 3 to 4 months. So if any employer in New Zealand wants to recruit a staff, say for Christmas this year, they need now staff. And now we are in October, we are talking today on 18 October. And if somebody needs their staff, they need end of November. It means we got 4 5 weeks.
Okay.
And current process will take at least I can tell you, and I quoted, and this is correct, and you try this, 7 to 9 months. Means if any employer wants to recruit now, bring their employer, they are thinking about next Christmas, not this year. So process is so much delayed just because of their staffing, and they have put extra checks. And I'm doing it because regular checks. They do even overseas verification in terms of interviews for the applicants. Okay.
Really?
Yes, they check everything.
All right,
So they
please
are
carry on. I'm sorry,
overburdened.
my question was because of the promise that was made and whether it is now.
It's not met here. It's actually delayed. It's become worse.
That's what I wanted.
Yes, that's right.
Exactly. Okay.
But in few things I can tell, it's faster in terms of group application. So if you are applying, say, more than 30, there is a visa escalation and all that, and you can do. If you are bringing more than 30 group applications, it will be processed urgently. Last week it came.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. As we all know,
Thank you, Venkatji, for your input.
he'll ask you the hard questions.
Yeah, don't worry. I'm
I
ready
know,
for
and
that.
you're absolutely ready
Yeah.
to. As we all know, the accredited employer work visa has been misused, unfortunately,
Yeah.
by some very unscrupulous employers with increased migrant exploitation as well. Now, as an employer, how can now this is a question from a member.
Yeah.
As an employer, how can I qualify to recruit migrant workers under the scheme?
Yeah, it's a simple one. As they started from 2022, July accredited scheme. So the employer need to become accredited employer, and requirement to become accredited employer is you must be in a genuine business operation running at least for 1 year. You must have your financial, GST return, PAY, organization chart, websites, and your location where you are. And if everything is fine, New Zealand immigration will again verify, check everything, and then you can become accredited company. Once you become accredited company, then you need to apply for a occupation, the position what you need. Somebody is in retail, if he or she needs, like, say, retail manager, store shop manager, or salesperson, depends on skill level 1, 2, 3, or 4, 5, salesperson, cashier, customer service officer, something. So depends on that. You need to do a job check, advertisement, labor market test. It means you can advertise for 2 weeks. That's for skill level 1, 2, 3. And if it is a low skill 4, 5 or below, you need to do for 3 weeks. And you must advertise with work and income as well. So you need to get a work and income report currently. Before it was not there. This was added by this new government. So which is kind of testing New Zealand labor market, the people who are on benefited, to bring them, or this job first goes to them, opportunities to job seekers in New Zealand. So once this process is done, then immigration, they apply, like employer needs to apply job check application with New Zealand immigration. proving or stating that he failed to recruit New Zealander, he failed to, yes, that's why the advertisement is about that. Then he apply, and again, in as per job check, the position, whether he need one position, two, three, or five, he can take approval of that positions. And once job check is approved, after that third step is this accredited employee work visa. Then he need to find a suitable person for that in terms of their qualification, work experience, whether it's skill level 1, 2, 3, unit diploma level 4, 5 or above, like bachelor degree or master degree, whatever is it, everything they qualify. And 3 years work experience or 5-year work experience in terms of skill level 1. And in terms of low skill, minimum is 3 years work experience or a qualification. So any bachelor degree, whether you are arts, science, or commerce, or any other IT qualification, you will qualify for any low skill jobs. Then you don't need any work experience.
Okay.
Yeah, and then process time, as I explained before, now it's very long. Any new employer who's looking, so he's looking probably 6 to 9 months to find a new employee.
But would that be beneficial in, for the country?
Well, in terms of long term, as we just discussed, of course, skilled labor they require all the time, whether it's a health sector, construction, or tourism or retail. They always need that. So that will be beneficial. Depends on the employer, as I'm saying, whether they can wait 6 to 9 months. That's one thing. If they need immediate now, say for Christmas downturn and all that, or whether now based on Reserve Bank, just reduction that everybody's hoping economy will boom. Christmas is coming, economy will boom. This is the time because they already had 1-2 years slow. So they are hoping, or everybody is hoping, such like everyone. And in another way, when we're talking about economy and immigration and this government, I would say very clearly 3 things. That immigration is above, I would say, any other industry. And I can tell you why. Immigration means education. And the education sector is third in terms of getting foreign revenue. That's our third sector. And when you talk about dairy industry, lots of Filipino, Indian, I know we have done lots of visa, and dairy farm workers and farm assistants to IC. Lots of people work in that industry.
Correct.
So they're exporting this. Construction industry,
Yes.
mostly workers are from there. And then tourism. They say tourism is number 2 after agriculture. So what? They need visa. You don't need New Zealand citizens for tourism within New Zealand. You need, as I said, group visas, they say, whether it's a Chinese, Asian, European, American, Australian. So when they come here, they need visas.
Of course.
So how come you can think about that immigration is not important? Whether you talk about tourism, your agriculture or dairy, or you talk about education. Immigration is everywhere, every time.
And this is a country built on immigration.
On immigration.
Absolutely.
So it's very important.
Yes, I agree with you there, Raj.
So immigration minister and New Zealand immigration got a very important role to play in country's economic growth and country's growth.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now on to my next question. This is an issue that concerns most Indians, most Indian families who, are very family oriented, as we
Yes.
all know. The parent and the grandparent visa category.
Yes, yes.
A member says, I applied for my grandparents' visa in November last year, and so far they have not even allocated a case officer. Can you please update us on what the current situation is?
So in this one, Rashnaji, my question will be, when you're talking about this, you're talking about residence expression of interest application, or just like grandparents visa is actually visitor visa. That's a multiple entry, and that's for 36 months. Is that one or this one? So we need to understand.
Tell us a little about both.
Yeah, I can tell
tell
you.
us a little about.
So this multiple entry, parents, grandparents entry visa is 36 months, where in one stay, they can stay for 6 months only, and they must exit the country. Whether they can go back to their home country, or they can go to Australia or Fiji. Come back again 3 months, again go out for 1 day or 1 week, again 3 months. But
Oh, really?
in 36 months, 3 years, they can stay only 18 months. This is the rule
Okay.
currently. And this is the visitor visa. But process is very quicker in this, not takes like 1 year or 7-8 months. It's 1 to 2 months. So I would say in sometime 2 weeks to 6 weeks. So process is fast, so they can then get a visa. Another is if they're talking about EOI, expression of interest, based on residence visa, that's based on ballots. It's a lottery system
Okay.
which came last year, yeah, at the time of Labour government. So in that, in 1 year they will do 4 times ballot. So it's a lottery, and in one lottery they get around 4 to 500 parents. They get invitation. So if they are talking of that, then it is for the 2 years. If in 1 year they didn't get it, so I would say all the best for next year. Maybe next year they will get the invitation.
Okay.
But if it is about visitor visa, I would say ask them to contact me or immigration and find out where is the process, because visitor visa
Absolutely.
is very faster.
Yeah. Raj, how long does it now, to get back to that question, how long does it take to obtain a visitor visa? Can applicants go to the New Zealand High Commission in Delhi or the consulate office in Mumbai? How does the e-visa process work?
Okay, Rashna ji. Currently, in India, especially, I can tell
Right.
you, Indian High Commission in Delhi or Bombay Business Consulate, they don't accept any applications. There is no paper application. Everything is online. So we need to submit the applications online.
Okay.
That's one thing. Second thing, process time. Again, as I said, it is 2 weeks to 3 months. Around that time period, depends on application. General visitor visa, whether it's sponsored by New Zealand citizen or resident or not, or it's a general visitor visa just by any business person from India, just to come for business trip or holiday period for that, or somebody, like holiday they are making as a family, then they want to come, or it's a honeymoon, like visitor visa for them. There is a different category in visitor visas. So depends on that what type of category you are, what's your profile. Once it is allocated to case officer. In New Zealand, this is mostly processed in Manukau office, the visitor visa, or in Henderson office.
Okay.
All around the world, it's processed in these two offices.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
here. And of course, if anybody get any more information or they need more information in this, they can contact us and we can guide you through.
Perfect. As we said, he's the expert. You can see how well he's answered everything and his vast knowledge in this field. Thank you very much, Raj.
Thank you, Rashnaji. And based on this, the general visitor visa, I'll tell you so generally what Immigration New Zealand is checks. Last 18 months, you can stay maximum 9 months only. So when you apply any visitor visa, if it is any sponsored family, of course they can apply till 6 months. That's totally fine. But my recommendation is always apply less than 3 months. New Zealand Immigration wants to see, are you a genuine bona fide applicant for travel? Again, your family circumstances, your business circumstances, your job, your assets and chattels from overseas, and say, if you're applying for 6 months, why? What's the purpose? But if you are applying for 1 to 3 months, they know, okay, it's acceptable. Yeah, it will take 1-2 months to, stay around, go in New Zealand.
Travel around,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's very important to show that you are a genuine visitor in New Zealand.
Okay.
Applicant.
I think a lot of Indians don't understand that point. They think, since we're spending so much of airfare, we're going there, let's go for a longer time. I just recently had, a case of friends whose family was coming here for a special occasion in the house.
Yeah.
And they were refused initially.
Correct.
And then, when they reapplied and resubmitted all their documents and things like that, because they had a son who was, of that age that is of concern to New Zealand.
Yeah.
So I think
anybody
it's
is
on
young,
a,
like below
very
25,
case to case basis.
Case to case. Because when you are below 25 or even I'll say below 30, so you and you are above 19. Correct? So above 19,
you're in that very questionable age.
Yeah, you are not included with your parents.
Correct.
Then your individual application. So that's why they assess in that individually. Okay. And when I tell my clients, when I take their visitor visa interviews, that they say, oh, we want to come, or somebody New Zealand citizen, we want to sponsor them, we got or like yours, oh, we got this function, was a birthday, house opening, wedding ceremony or anniversary, or, they want to come holidays. Main question, my two, okay, forget about everything. New Zealand Immigration got only one question. Only one question. We'll give you visa. Be happy. Will you go back? That's the only question.
Exactly.
No other question.
Exactly.
So to go back, they want to check what's your profile.
Yeah.
So you need to tell each and everything to New Zealand Immigration.
Absolutely.
So they can assess that this guy got a family.
He's got a business, he's got a house,
Assets, chattels, job, business,
absolutely.
his full-time job, part-time job, parents,
Correct.
siblings,
Correct.
friends and family, like he got a life in his own country.
Correct.
So that's the reason he will go back.
Yeah,
That's what
I guess in some respects you have to do this.
Yes.
Whether they're coming down harshly on, whether some communities take advantage of this, I mean, is another question. But then, eventually you have to leave it to their judgment.
Correct. Rashnaji, you are here in Auckland.
Yeah.
Even from Auckland, somebody wants to visit your house.
Yes.
You invite somebody. You wants to know that after dinner this guy will go back to his house.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, probably you won't welcome him.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know whether in the evening,
True,
can I
true.
stay here?
No.
Can I sleep on your couch?
I know. It's hard for a country to sustain all that.
Correct.
Absolutely. Now, the other question from a member, would you elaborate a bit on the international student visa? Now, we know how important that is for the Indian subcontinent.
Correct. And as I said,
Who can apply for the procedure? Whether students are allowed to work automatically on arrival. Now, this is a question that, I find on our page constantly. They, in fact, the minute they sort of become a member and say that we are coming to New Zealand as a student, we allow them to become members. Otherwise, it's only for people who are based in New Zealand.
Yeah.
But, they need to look for a house. They need to, they need a
Yeah,
lot of
settlements,
contact.
correct.
They're young kids coming out of, the family home for the first time. And the first thing that they come here and ask us on the page, I'm desperately looking for a job. Now, we do tell them a lot of times that, look, come with at least 3 months of money in your pocket, You may get a job, you may not. This is just as hard as, any other country is. But we can see the desperation, and I sometimes feel very, very sorry for these children. They're coming from, homes that have taken big loans for them to come here.
Yeah.
They're relying on the fact that, they're going to get a job because that's what agents are telling them in India. I personally know of a case where I almost adopted a child overnight.
Yeah.
Somebody phoned me from India and said she's got enough money for just 1 week of rent.
Wow.
And there was nothing else I could do. I had to, go to the community, ask for money. We were all supporting her meals. We supported where she lived.
Rashnaji, on this one, this is a very detailed question.
I can
know
understand.
so many parts in that. So let's start from
You
student
take it.
visa
Yes.
requirements. So of course, as I said, education is a big business in New Zealand, and I'm not saying for PT like small players. I'm saying for government. It's a big business, and they need to promote it well
Exactly.
compared to Australia and Canada, or in terms of UK as well. It's a very big market. Their third biggest overseas earning revenue one. And requirements are very good and great. As we advise all the time to our clients overseas, as I said, and again I'll tell, we got office in Auckland, we got office in Sydney. I got a practicing certificate in Australia, NSW, so we got office in Sydney.
well done.
Our partner works there, and I got third office in New Delhi.
Very good.
Yeah, so we got 3 jurisdictions, and I got 3 practicing certificate.
Wow.
One is from New Zealand, one is from Australia, one is from India. Bar Council of Delhi, I'm still a member there. Yeah, so we run there. That's why our office is there. And what's the main purpose in that? Just to guide them, because people, when they come to New Zealand investing such a big money in terms of education, they want to build up their life and career. I'm not saying everybody's game or achievement is, I need residence. Sometime I would talk about more bigger than a passport. They want to build up their career and their life. So when they come here, whether they take loan on that, there's immigration requirement from here, whether you're doing a bachelor degree or a master degree. Of course, you are paying their fee. For that, you have taken loan. But at the same time, for the whole duration, 1 year, 1.5 or 2 years, or even, for instance, 3 years as a bachelor degree, New Zealand immigration separate criteria is there for living expenses. That's nowadays $20,000.
Oh.
So $20,000 is required, and some cases New Zealand immigration put them in FTS. It's a scheme here with VNZ Bank where $20,000 is transferred in that, and every month $1,600+ every month transfer from that account to their personal account, and that's what it's called living expenses.
Okay.
So it's not like every student they need to prove. That's what I got sometimes surprised, that people don't have money to live on. The whole, when they apply their application, that's how New Zealand immigration visa process works.
Really?
They must have
Okay.
money for that whole duration of their qualification. If they don't have money, visa will be declined. I can tell you that. So they have shown that money. Whether that money they have bring it to New Zealand or not, I'm not sure. But with the
Yes.
FTS, that's how New Zealand immigration tell them, okay, transfer that money. Once the money is transferred to New Zealand, then their visa is issued.
Okay.
Even visa is issued before that. Otherwise, it's AIP, approved in principle visa for student. And then once visa is issued, they come here.
Really?
Now the part is, so this thing is sorted that they don't have money for living. No, that's not the question. They already got money. They got the money. Whether they want to use that money or not, that's the second question. So from now on, if you got somebody 1 week, no, hang on, where is the $20,000?
Okay.
Which you
Very
showed.
interesting to know that.
Yeah, so this is one thing. Second thing, part was on that work, whether they are allowed. Definitely on the work visas, whether it's what do you call diploma courses. I'm not going in detail because there's so much like green list courses, bachelor degree courses, or pathway to work to residence or residence visa. There's so many, but we can do different program on that. But just answering on student visa. So on that, every diploma, every degree, every level 8, level 9, you allow 20 hours of work, and that's open work visa. You don't need any employer support. You just need a job.
Okay.
So you don't need any like accreditation or all that. They can work with any employer. It's open, but of course you need an employer for that. To 20 hours per week, and during their semester break and Christmas and New Year holidays, they can work full time.
Full time.
And again, with their depends on their level of study. If they are studying level 9, then their partners are allowed full time study.
Okay.
And if they are on a green list course, their partners is allowed on full time work visa. And their dependent children, they get a domestic, like they don't need to pay any fee, domestic students. And for PhD students and some master students, applicants are allowed full-time work during their study as well. So they're allowed full-time. And after completion of their qualification, say bachelor degree, 3-year post-study open work visa, level 8, 1-year post-study open work visa, master degree, 3-year post-study open work visa. So they get like, at least 3 to, I would say, 5 to 6 years in terms of work allowed here. They just need employer.
Correct.
And it need not to be accredited employer. They can work in any sector, anywhere.
Correct. And is there sort of a minimum income requirement?
Minimum wage is there, as you know.
Yes.
Every employer
Yes.
legally need to pay them
Correct.
$23.15 currently. That's how their
Correct.
pay rate is
Okay.
there.
Okay. Right.
Apart from any other section I'm missing from that long question?
No.
Okay.
Please, we want it in layman language
Yes.
so that people understand. And if they have more questions, they're more than welcome. We'll keep your, office address open to them, or they contact us. We will provide it to them. They can get in touch for any more, case-to-case basis.
Thank you.
Now, this is also a question from somebody. I am in New Zealand on a 3-year accredited visa. Can I apply for a resident permit after this visa expires? Or can I undertake further study with a student visa?
All the options are there in this. Again, depends, it depends if he got already qualification and he got a skilled job.
Right.
This accredited employer, skill level 1, 2, 3, or even low skill if it is 1.5 time of the median wage, say $47.41 per hour. We can apply the residence after, depends his qualification of the master degree, bachelor degree, level 8, after 1 to 3 years experience, he can qualify straight away with English, character and medical. And of course, if he's on skilled employment, this 3 years, he can extend another 2 years, total 5 years accredited. That's the maximum limit in that. And again, when he's applying in terms of his residence visa and he's on the last 4 or 5th year and still under process, he can get a even interim visa. So which is for 2 years. He can
Okay.
again, same condition, he can carry on work.
Okay.
So
Seems
many
very
options.
fair. Yes, absolutely.
And based on this accredited employee work visa, I don't know the situation. If he doesn't qualify for residence visa, of course he can go back to studies. So we can do his student visa. Again,
Right.
whether he wants to study bachelor degree, green list 1 year qualification, or master degree.
Correct.
We can do anything.
Good to know all this, Raj. I mean,
Yeah.
you've got such detailed information. I mean, this is, things that we don't really know. We're not in the field of,
Correct.
immigration. Neither are we looking for immigration ourselves.
Correct.
What is the status of visas for spouses who have culturally arranged marriages? Now, this has been a big issue over the last few years.
20
Yes,
years,
yeah.
I've seen.
Does Immigration New Zealand consider such applications on a fast track basis?
Not really.
No?
Actually, they want to, and to be very frank, it's the process. As our people, I would say, or applicants, it's not only our like Indian subcontinent, it's like everywhere. They have not actually properly processed application information evidence with New Zealand immigration. That's why New Zealand immigration always have concerns regarding their culture. It's a cultural marriage. That's what
Of
I'm talking
course.
about. Their culture,
Yeah.
their religion, their background. And again, if you talk about India, it's like what, like 30 plus states, different culture, different language, different steps, different way of marriages. Celebration is different. So when they don't, of course, the Kiwi Indians, I'm saying who's here, whether they got married or any student getting married, bringing his wife here or her husband here, it's not clear what is their process. So they need to verify, check everything. So cultural arrange marriages based visa application is not easy one. It's very tricky. That's why they have limited it. That within 3 months you need to apply. Once your marriage is done, everything is fresh. They know evidence is there. They can interview them. They can check them. They can verify. So that's why 3 months. Or they can do like get to would be like bride, would be groom. You can invite them here in New Zealand to get married. So it's not easy. I would say it's harder than the normal couple visas.
Right, okay.
Yeah, process. So
And
culturally arranged
yes,
is
I
very
mean,
good.
unfortunately, that's how, Indian cultures work. I
And-
mean, a lot of time the marriages are arranged by
And I
the
think
parents.
Rashna ji, that's the reason lots of Indian association around this cultural arranged marriages. I'm saying lost more than 20 years. Every government, every immigration minister, immigration department, immigration senior officers, like their practice lead or their operations manager, they had many conversation with each other. This is our culture. You understand? You understand? No, because it's all different. And I just spoke about India. You think about Fiji. You think about Pakistan, Afghanistan, Iran, all Middle East, Africa. And then you come to Asia, Vietnam, all that, every Buddhism, Sri Lanka. We do all that because my staff is all multicultural.
Is it?
Yeah, whether it's Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Nepal, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Samoan, Tonga, Fiji, Korean, Japanese.
Wow.
These are the ethnicity we got in our office.
Really?
Yeah, and we deal with this kind of
Man,
communities.
A little United Nations there itself.
Yeah, like a multicultural office.
Yeah,
with
absolutely.
us. Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. Good to know that.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing is, this is an actual, I'm going to say it in his own words. This was a question from a member, which, Venkati and I thought was interesting. He says, I have been employed as a sewing machinist
Yes.
for the past 5 years in Auckland.
Well done.
I went home to India and got stuck because of COVID.
Oh, yeah.
My company recruited me back under the accredited employer visa at $27.80 per hour.
Yeah.
Will my visa be extended and can I apply for a residence visa? I am 58 years old.
Oh, last point carries everything because for skilled migration category, age limit is 55 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. If you're 55, you can apply skilled migration. If you're 55 plus, like as soon as you get 56, you disqualify. You can't.
You can't apply. Okay.
No. For him, I can suggest one thing. One thing is I can tell his occupation is a skilled sewing machinist.
Yes.
Recently, they added to skilled
Is it?
occupation.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a skilled. But unfortunately, his age, I would say prepare a case, make a case
Okay.
for minister.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
and
would they take kindly to that, if you make your individual case to case
No, I'm saying
basis?
it's a direction, special one.
Okay,
You need to make a
He
case.
needs to consult a proper, consultant, get the right information so that he's not rejected.
Approval is not guaranteed for anything anyway. Even minister can't say, they will
Exactly.
say just send it, we will consider. That's what I'm saying. He need to make a case and present well. And minister is the
Okay, all right.
only person to do that. And it will be associate minister only.
I'd like to know something very interesting because, there's so many aspects to immigration. There's so many different things that we all want to know.
Yeah.
Do ministers actually have, sort of people that they meet like yourself?
Yeah.
They have a panel that they discuss things with, each of you giving your inputs, your feedback, and do they take that on board?
Different way. If we talk about say government and then Minister of Immigration, of course he got a different discussion panels. It comes from business association, our like law society, Auckland District Law Society, New Zealand Law Society, they give them advice as well in terms of law. All different, but we are talking immigration, so of course on immigration. And then our culture, Indian associations, they give them feedback. And when they attend, such as Diwali, Eid, or Indian functions, whatever, we got so many, everybody gives them feedback.
Okay.
So they listen to them, but end of the day it comes in terms of policy making, where we are not active as a community. So we need to push them in terms of policy making when we make this, when it really happens. Because this is not really correct. When they are coming into Diwali Mela, like this weekend, Queen Street is blocked, as you know, and it will be hundreds of thousand people there. Even Prime Minister, all the ministers, opposition, everybody is there. They are talking, having sweets, enjoying dance, Bollywood, Bhangra. End of the day, they want to celebrate your culture. But again, as you said, culture arranged marriage. Who will make them understand? How they will make you understand?
Yeah, it's
or
an
your
alien
requirements.
concept to
Yeah, whatever
please.
it is. Or the
Yes.
people like this. Hey,
Yes.
this is a skilled person who was here. He already served. We pay tax. He's asset. Why not give him? And this is minister's absolute discretion.
Okay.
And under them, they got a delegated decision makers.
All right.
It's a full team. Of course, minister doesn't make decision. He was just advised, and accordingly he make decision. So he got a full ministry under him who's working. So it's a good way to work, but our community needs to take more participation
Yes.
in terms of
More
policy
responsibility.
making.
for
Just policy
policies,
making,
yeah,
nothing
yeah,
else. We are
yeah.
doing very well in terms of business. We are doing well.
Yes, absolutely.
Celebration we do well.
Absolutely.
Business awards we do well. Community awards we do well. Just in terms of that, hey, what we need? Yeah, we need policy. Okay, let's get into this.
So how do you suggest that happens? Would we need Indian media to be involved? Would we need
Everyone,
our
every sector,
associations to be
yeah,
involved?
all Indian
Do
media
we
and
sort
that,
of
whether
make-
it's radio, whether it's newspapers, whether it's associations, whether it's temples, churches.
Okay.
Yeah, all that. Everybody needs to know
Okay.
that, yeah, okay, this is the policy, now it's open, or this is the new bill is coming, you want to object that, do it.
Okay.
What is not good for, like, say, Indian community. So let's
Absolutely.
object that, why not?
Yeah, yeah.
Like currently,
Yeah.
arms bill is going on till 30th October. They want a Stringan style bill to pass that people can have it. And people are worried if this gang members,
Yes.
Indian community is already victim of this
Yes,
kind of violence.
yes, yes.
Now they are coming with hammer and, other thing. Then they will come with chain guns. So probably, now at least they can face them. They can push them.
Yeah.
But with chain gun, whether you are under, bar and all that, they are outside. Hey, are you opening, or I
Yeah,
just,
yeah.
blast from here.
Oh my God.
So this is like terrible thing. So these things, if Indian Business Association, they should be opposing them, oppose them well, and don't allow them to make a law.
Venkatji Raj, a project for you.
Yeah.
And we'll get involved as well with getting
Yeah.
people's signature.
Yeah, correct.
Lovely. Next question. I live in Mumbai and would like to migrate to New Zealand under the skilled migrant category. Will it be easier to get a residence permit if I choose to live in a smaller town? Is there, any leeway
Everything is
that you
changed. I
get?
don't know. It's like an ancient question.
Okay.
One thing is, of course, in New Zealand it's changed. Permit is fine, but nowadays it's only visa, residence visa. There is no permit. Permits has gone back long, more than I think 10 years.
Okay.
Second thing, as I discussed earlier, now the policy changes 6 points based on qualification. Of course, he can verify with NZQL where he qualifies, and then plus he need a New Zealand employer. If he
Right.
does not have a skilled employment in New Zealand, he does
Right.
not qualify
Okay.
for New Zealand residence visa. So it's must now.
Okay. Raj, this is a question that you thought was important, which, obviously would be of value to our members. And this is ANZSCO,
NZ score, yes.
NZ score, will be replaced with the National Occupation List, NOL, from 20th of November.
Yeah.
New occupations will be added and some removed.
Correct.
Would you like to elaborate on
Yeah,
that?
yeah. Some, in this one, what currently NZ score is Australia, A for Australia, NZ New Zealand, occupation standard classification.
Oh.
So that's NZ score like full. So currently New Zealand and Australia got one occupation list. That's how whole Australia and New Zealand works on that, and immigration uses that code to process the visa application, and their skill level, we spoke like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So this is 8 list in that 8 codes. So it's very important for work visa process, occupations and residence visa. So now, because New Zealand and Australia in terms of landscape and industries, so many changed, that's why they want to make now New Zealand's own occupation list. That's what is NOL, and it's open for consultation end of this month. So they can make a submission about this. Say orchard manager, it's not there. Area manager, field manager, it's not there. Alarm technician, it's not there. Clinic, beauty clinic manager, it's not there. Anything else you want to make it in terms of, you think that, oh, this is the position we got in our occupation. So suggest them, make your submission, and they will add in this Australian occupation list. So when you are applying for your visa, I told you, whether it's a work visa or residence visa, they can use that code to more relevant to your skills and your occupation and your employment, like industry. So this is very important.
Okay.
So again, I'm saying to all the employers, if employers is thinking, yeah, this is very usable, because mine is different. Mine is, say, Indian grocery store. So you want to do, or Indian, say, sweet maker. See, sweet maker is different. You got only cook chef, pastry chef, and cake maker. So why you want to use the Western one? Just a sweet maker, like halwai you got. So put the halwai in that. So they can use that code, and they will see, oh, this is the job description, oh, this is what we can do.
Perfect.
So there is so many things, as you said, tailor in there. So sewing machinist, tailor is there.
Yes.
So why not? Tailor is not there. It's a sewing machinist, and then you got fashion designer or fashion these in NZ school. So why not? You can just stitch or tailor, and then you say Indian, or like
Perfect.
wedding makeup, artist or something. So make all different one. Why not? You are here, own your, as I said, own your culture, portray your culture, and make a fusion with here in New Zealand. Why not?
Absolutely. Yeah,
Because-
that should be the way, things
Because
work.
we are growing here more and more, correct? Now we are the
Third
third
largest.
largest. Yeah, see? So we are growing more and more. So it's not like it will become fusion, It's with the Kiwi, Maori, Pacifica, and then Indian. Why not?
Yeah,
Just,
yeah.
live together, share everything.
Absolutely. Raj, you have a wealth of information. I think we need to bring you back again, very soon.
Correct, because I'll tell you what else we can do. So many we have not touched. We just spoke about visa options.
Yeah.
And what? Only residence, work visa, visitor, and student.
Right.
Apart from that, there is so much here, local here in New Zealand. I'm talking local. Why? We got lots of overstayers here. What's the options for them?
Right.
Section 61. We got lots of people with their criminal background or trouble, convicted, or with medical situations where the visa got declined. What to do? If the visa get declined, any visa, what's the process for reconsideration? How we can do, what's the requirement? And then you go in terms of that, any residence visa decline, your any visa decline, you become overstay. Within 42 days, what you can do? Can you go to IPT, this appellate tribunal, immigration and protection tribunal? You can do in that. And when you feel it's in public interest that the decision is wrongly declined, why these kind of people getting deportation liability notice, or this migrant exploitation, why they are finishing all that. So there is a judicial review in terms of High Court against the Minister of Immigration. So we go, and I normally go to, High Court for judicial review. Currently we are against one deportation case. And then so many appellate rights in terms of different situations. I got all different cases. People who are stateless, no ID, nothing. Even New Zealand immigration is saying, we don't know, we don't deport you. We can't deport you. Indian High Commission not issuing him visa. So he's here. But at the same time, he's not getting any benefit. And he's here more than 25 years.
Oh my goodness.
So we are trying to help him. The people, who got New Zealand born child. The girl got pregnant. She delivered a baby. Unfortunate situation, very sad story. But again, she gave birth without any medical help.
My God.
Survived. The boy is 10 years. So we did, first thing is there, ID creation. It was not easy.
Okay.
Birth certificate after 10 years. Need to give proof where this guy, came.
Yeah.
Is he alien? No, nothing. So finally got their visa. It was not easy.
I
We
can
took, I
imagine.
think, 2 years. Yeah. First thing is on this ID, even birth certificate. then Indian passport, then this visa. It's like totally different. Same parents on this, as I said, medical situations, all that, and then minister. As I said, absolute discretion,
Yeah, true.
absolute power to him. Lots of people in different situations. Just
Absolutely. Raj, we could talk
So
with you
sorry.
forever. Unfortunately, running out of time.
Time, yes.
And thank you so much. You've told us so much more, and I'm sure our members will take this on board. And we would like to have you again for sure. I'm sure I'm going to have members telling me that as well. And thank you very, very much.
Thank you, Rashna ji. Before
Thank
I
you
go, I would
so
like to
much.
thank you and Venkat ji,
Haji.
and say legal associate, part of Indian News Link for so long since
Yes.
our,
Yeah.
since I
Absolutely.
started.
You're
my
also on our
practice.
legal panel.
Yeah, legal panel. And Ashima, my partner,
Of
my
course.
wife,
She's
Notary
also there.
Public. Yeah,
Yeah.
there, Saudat.
I
So
see
it's a
Raj
passion
at
to-
every community function.
Correct.
He
With
is
our
so
own-
And
well
one
connected.
final
Yeah.
question I want: is there any possibility of the government giving amnesty for overstayers? Is there any talk?
Venkatji, on this one, of course, the direct question, I'm sure you're asking directly to the Prime Minister and to the Immigration Minister, but from my experience, as even before get elected, this party, like Nation Party, has given clearly that amnesty or
They
overstays.
will not give you.
we
No,
won't
this has
consider.
been the
So,
stance
of
taken
course, yeah.
right from Helen Clark's time, I
Yeah.
remember. But at some point they have given, you know.
Yeah, year 2000 it was there.
Yeah.
And I would say in some kind of, in COVID, where this residence 21 came, it's kind of that
But right now there is
blanket
no-
rule.
no talk about
Yeah, yeah. And right now, I think around 20,000 overstay people is there. And both government knows, like previous government was known as well, it was in their agenda. And in this government it was there, but they never said, even though about the parents as well, it was there that will do 5-year and 10-year visas, which is currently still 3 years. It's never, came.
I have
So-
heard from the High Commission that they will not support amnesty for people to stay back. But if people want to return home, then High Commission will help. What I mean is, people will be stateless, they may not even have a passport.
As I'm saying, just one example, that one. So Indian High Commission
So there,
refused to issue them
those who
passport.
want to go back can get help.
Those who
Want to go
went
back.
Yeah, they can get help from Indian High Commissioner in terms of they will get only travel document.
Correct.
They're not issuing passport.
Yeah, no
That's all.
passport. They'll get an emergency
Yeah,
certificate.
There's another aspect we have not seen on these guys. Which one? 2 questions. Do you want to live in New Zealand? Yes or no? Then you start that process. These people should start that process rather than sitting and hiding. And second question, do you ever want to come back to New Zealand? Yes or no? Accordingly, you decide what you want to do.
Right.
But again, as we say, as a legal experts, it's very kind of a professional approach for us to say yes or no. But for them, it's whole life. As you said, 20,
Yeah.
30 years they are here. We don't know, they already got
I
their
know.
family, they already got their children, partners, or
We will talk about this in a special podcast
Yes.
that we can organize for you. Some of these are practical problems that people face, and it can't be covered by general immigration laws.
Correct.
But there may be a requirement, because you are so well versed in this. Perhaps we can even advocate a policy to the government. Whether they
Definitely, Venkatji.
accept or not, it's a different matter.
Yeah, that's definitely Venkatji. We are pushing on the policies, as I was saying, currently within our party. So we are doing it.
Alright.
And yeah, it's very important to do that. And it's not about one party, because as an immigration lawyer, I work with immigration in New Zealand. So whoever comes, we as a officer of the court and professional, we work on this very well.
Correct, yeah.
Currently, as
Yeah.
I'm saying, there is a currently thing is going on. A very big company, their turnover is more than 15 million per annum, employ more than 200 staff. Currently, immigration officer is arguing that job description is equivalent to cook, not as a chef. And trouble with cook is Indian cook, as you understand. Now with the new policy, you need English level 4.0 or
Right,
PTE
right,
29. So of course, Indian cook, they don't have that level. But frankly, in terms of experience, they got 10, 20 years experience of making great food. And they get 2 years visa only at first. And second time they get 1 year visa. So this company is struggling that small businesses like a restaurant, small, with $7,000 per week, you can say 350,000 per annum, that kind of, they can bring 2 chefs, 5-year visa, no English, 3 years experience, that's fine. So they got more sustainable staff, that's what I'm talking my point. 5 years, no English, they work with them 5 years. And a company who runs $15 million business, more than 200, is unquestionable on that you are getting chef for 2 years with English where you can't get. And their current staff, more than, we did so many visas, more than 30, 40 staff in the verge of changing employer to these small employers, VOC. Because with them they get 5 years visa as a chef, but with this company they can't get 3rd year.
Right.
Because of English
we
and
should
all
discuss
that.
this.
So
Yes,
this is
in
very
depth.
challenging. No, what I'm saying is the current immigration, one thing is we are saying we need to improve the business, economy, help the employer, sustain everything. Question mark, where? Can you be more, use like common sense, a positive approach? I know everywhere you put more question and, irritable of that migrant exploitation, but there should be a balance, as we said, there's a bad employer, there's very good employers.
Yeah, correct.
Correct.
This
Correct.
country stand on good people, good company, good
Yes,
businesses.
Yes.
So we can't all the time bad.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, need
Lovely.
to change that kind of thinking
The
and that
concept
kind of
and mindset has
yes,
to change.
has to change.
Thank you so much, Raj. Thank you once
Rashnaji,
again.
and we shake it
we
again.
It's been an absolute pleasure. You're an encyclopedia of knowledge.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for coming, and being with us. Our members will benefit greatly, and we hope to see you again.
My pleasure. Thank you.
And members, if you have personal questions, please do feel free to contact Raj Pardeep Singh at Legal Associates.
Thank you very
As you
much.
can see, he is the expert, which is why he's a part of our Meet the Expert series. Thank you so much, Venkatji. Thank you very much, Raj.
Thank you.